Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. First of all, got to apologise for no videos for, is it a month tonight? I'm not sure, but as you can see, I plonked myself in front of the fireplace because it's the only place we can really set up for a video whilst we've just moved. We've got boxes everywhere still, as you can imagine. Moved a couple of weeks ago and we're still not set up. I've not got an office set up yet, nor has Rachel, so for now, I'm just going to plonk myself in front of the fireplace. But yeah, so hence why there hasn't been a video for a few weeks, and I've done loads of games and I've been thinking, God, I just want to do a video on this game. I mean, I did Man City versus RB Leipzig in the Champions League a couple of weeks ago. Then on the that was on the Tuesday. The Wednesday I did Sheffield Wednesday versus, was it Birmingham? Can't remember. Yeah, so there was that one. Then on the Thursday that week, I did Liverpool, went back over the West, over the 62 to Liverpool for their Europa League against LASK. And yeah, it's been flat out, and I've been to Peterborough. Oh, shout out to Joe Dent. Thanks ever so much for making me feel welcome at Peterborough. Had a great day. It was a good game. First time I've been to Peterborough, so that was good. Made to feel really welcome there, so thanks for that, Joe. Yeah, where else have I been? I've been over to Birmingham, did a game there. I had a bit of a shoot with, first time I'd seen Wayne Rooney, so that was quite a good game. And I think they actually drew. It was the first game, because it was quite a big game as I went there. I thought, crike, I've got to get plenty of Rooney, because I think it was his 6th game in charge with no wins. And if he didn't win that game, I think he was probably, well, rumour has it, he was going to get the chop. But in the end, I think, I can't remember if they won. It's such a long time ago. They won, or they drew. I think they might have drawn. Anyway, so the story was that he didn't lose and he kept his job, basically. So I've been there, been to Leeds a few times. Yeah, so I'll shout out to Malcolm and the guys and Simon for giving me a hand with my Ethernet port. I've got, oh, and thanks to Ian Hodgson as well. I've met so many people in the last few weeks. Yeah, I got to Leeds just a little bit late, and there was no ports left for my Ethernet, and the Wi-Fi's not the best at Leeds, Ellen Road, so the pressure was on, and luckily Ian Hodgson overheard me saying, oh, I've not got an Ethernet port, can I jump on? I've got a splitter. And Ian said, I've got the splitter that we need, you can split off with me. And yeah, it was a little powered splitter, and because incidentally I bought a splitter off Amazon, but it wasn't a powered one, and they're all right for a meter, but anything over that you need power for your splitter, to obviously to power the 30-meter cable that most of us run. So yeah, so I jumped on Ian's splitter with him. Thanks very much, Ian. Managed to get out all right. And I said, right, I'm going to take a picture of that. And I went and ordered one that night on Amazon. So yeah, so thanks for that. So armed with a powered splitter now. So basically, if I am late to a game or anything and there's no ports left, I've got the ability now to get the splitter out and split with someone else. So yeah, that's a massive weight off my shoulders, that, because there's nothing worse than not being able to send images out, as you know, whether or not it's on the hotspot. But once the ground gets full, the hotspot on the mobile phones don't usually work, so you have to rely on the Wi-Fi, and at some grounds Wi-Fi only works in the corner nearest to the press room, so nightmare. So but yeah, I've been to Huddersfield as well, been there, been all over really. But anyway, I'll run through some images in a minute, but this was just a quick video, A, to apologise for not knocking a video up in the last few weeks, and B, to let you know what's going on. We moved in. Oh, by the way, camera wise, absolutely in love with the R3. I'm actually filming on the, that's why I'm pointing, I'm filming on the R3 now, and yeah, absolutely head over heels with that. I've also got the R5 on demo still, because I've been doing a bit of printing work for Canon, made a couple of printing videos for Canon, and whenever they're ever so good, Canon are, the printing team, they always say, if you're going to do a video for us, do you want any kit sending out? So I always try and get an R5 or an R6 or something and a few lenses. So yeah, I've still got the R5 till after Christmas. So I've had the R5 on the 400, and I've got to say, I'm going to do a separate video on it, I've got to, but the pull from the other end of the pitch, there is no worries now. If something happens in the 5-yard box, the other end of the pitch, I know that 45 megapixel sensor, you can pull and crop right in and it does not lose any quality at all. The R5 is absolutely fantastic. It should be really with a 45 megapixel sensor. But yeah, and of course, that also aids me to get a lot more stock imagery, because I can shoot individual players right out. I've got no limits now. I can shoot them right out well into the other half, and I know that I can pull that in, crop him in a portrait, and I've got myself a stock image. So yeah, my stock imagery has also improved, because I don't have to rely on the player being fairly close to me. But yeah, and obviously I've got the R3 on the 70-200, and for a couple of weeks I've sent it back now, but Canon sent me out the new RF 70-200 and I did not get on with it at all, because it's not just the twist like the old EF 70-200, which I've reverted back to. I couldn't wait to get that back on actually. I ended up buying myself an adapter, an RF adapter, so that I can use my EF 70-200. But yeah, it was quite stiff, and it's more of a twist from 70-200 than on my EF. My EF I could just do with the finger and thumb, and you zoomed out, you zoomed in, you zoomed out, and it was as easy as that. But it was quite stiff, and also it's the pump action, so the lens actually protrudes out. I'm sure I've had to send it back now. I wish I'd have done a video on it, but yeah, so I don't think I'll be going down the new RF 70-200 route just yet. I mean, I've heard rumours that they might be redeveloping that, because I think they've had quite a few complaints. I know a lot of lads who are on mirrorless are still on the old EF 70-200, so yeah, that's a bit of a learning curve, so I'm back on that. So yeah, I've got the R3 on the 70-200 for all the close range stuff. Very interesting on the focus in front. I know I mentioned when I was on the way to Man City that night on the video, I can't really get to grips with the focus tracking on the R3. It's just not quite up to speed yet, I don't think. And the focus tracking, even though I'd set the acceleration and de-acceleration, I've played with that a bit. Once I do get it right, I'll do a video on it. And I know I said that last time, but I will definitely do a video on it. But I've been speaking to several lads over the last few weeks, lads and lasses that are on the R3, and they've all said the same thing. I'm not using it. I've reverted back to the 1DX settings. And currently that's what I'm on. Single point focus, AI servo, and it's doing a fantastic job. Nice and sharp, what, the 24 megapixel. And I know that any match action, you know, close by on the 70-200 is going to be absolutely pin sharp. I've had some nice celebrations to test it. I'll run through some images in a minute. But yeah, so you're up to date a bit now. Getting to grips with the R3, slowly but surely. Everything else is about right. It's just that focus tracking that I'm not quite pinpointed yet. But I've had it in electronic shutter. I'm shooting in what is it, the high plus, so 30 frames per second on the electronic. The text there, I may as well use it. And I've noticed that my laptop's getting full a lot quicker, and my hard drive's filling up quicker with so many more files, so many more images. But yeah, and the R5 is brilliant. Definitely going to get one of them as soon as I can. But I've got the R5 till early January, so I've just got to film one more video for my printing themes, and the R5 will be going back for, hopefully it won't be too long before I get my own R5. Fingers crossed. But anyway, I'm babbling on a bit. So yeah, just a quick video to wish you all a Merry Christmas, and hopefully I'll do a video before I'll say Happy New Year in the next video. Hopefully I'll get a video done middle of the week next week, just to go, where am I tomorrow? I'm at Barnsley tomorrow, Barnsley versus Stevenage, so proper League One tussle that. I think Stevenage are 5th, Barnsley are 3rd, or the other way round, something like that. So it should be a good League One game, hopefully. New Year's Eve, I'm going ahead of time. Boxing Day, I'm at Sheffield United versus Luton, so that'll be a good bottom of the Premier League clash as well. So looking forward to that. But hopefully I'll try and get a video done, if not after tomorrow, after Boxing Day, just to go over my Barnsley game and my Sheffield United game. So yeah, looking forward to them. And yeah, so have a great Christmas, guys. If you're out tomorrow or Sunday, I don't know, there's only one game on Sunday, and that's Chelsea, I think. Chelsea, well, I can't think where they're going to now, but they're going up north somewhere. I think there was a bit of argy-bargy about having a Christmas Eve game, but I can't think where they are now. But yeah, I think all the games are happening tomorrow. So if you're out, have a great game. Don't forget to jump on the Facebook page and post some of your best images. And it's great to see all your work coming up now. There's plenty more lads joined since I last mentioned the Facebook group, Photography Chat. So yeah, put any of your favourite images from the games and that. Or if you're out on landscapes, because there's been a few less landscape shots lately and more sport. But yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, as you know, I go out. I love my woodlands and my seascapes and long exposures and that. So if you're into that, put that on the Facebook group as well. And yeah, so job's a good one. I'm going to get some images up now. I've chosen some of my favourite images of the year, and if there's any in particular, I'll do a bit of a voiceover on them. But I'll leave you with my favourite images from this season and this year, and catch up next week hopefully, and then I'll wish you a Happy New Year. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great weekend and a great Christmas. Catch up next week. Take care. Job's a good one. Right, well, just a quick look back at the season's images so far, and I think this is probably my favourite, I reckon, so far this season. This one or this one of the two. Oh dear. But yeah, you got Haaland, Alvarez and Lewis, and it was Alvarez that scored. They absolutely trounced RB Leipzig, really. But let's see if I don't think I got the goal. No, I didn't get the goal because I was blocked for it. But I like this image. Plenty of dejection here, and then Alvarez. I think it was an assist from Haaland, but I'm thinking, yes, come on, don't stop there, run towards me. And then Alvarez kept running. And he kept running, and then they started running my way, and it's like, oh yes, I'm on the 70-200. Come on, keep coming. And it's like, am I going to go for the widey? No, let's stick on the 70-200. And yeah, just managed to. I don't like chopping legs, but yeah, Haaland's celebration there was great, and yeah, it was a good night. It wasn't the best atmosphere at City actually, but anyway, so yeah, I think it's probably, well, it could even be that one that's favourite, but I think a nice tight crop. I think that is a nice tight crop of that one. Yeah, it is. That's on the R3, obviously. And I think I've cropped that image there into that. It's still lovely and sharp, look. But yeah, that one or that one anyway is my favourite so far this season. Mainly because it's the big man, isn't it? It's Haaland. But anyway, let's flim through. I've just chosen some quickly just to go through, as you can see. Now this was back start of the season, really. I mean, this is the manager. He's gone now, hasn't he? Bless him. He's gone, the old Sheffield Wednesday manager. But this, I think I made a video out of this. I used this as the thumbnail. But never ever put your camera down at full time. And this is about, what time is this? This is 54. Look, so I don't know. It must be 7 or 9 minutes after full time whistle. And I was just following the manager around, and he walked up to Josh Windass, who's quite a veteran player now, and they were having some sort of discussion, and I just fired away, and it ended up getting used. It ended up being the main story out of the whole game. I think the game was a bit drab from what I can remember. That's why, one of the reasons why I followed the manager around and followed Windass around, because he's one of the star players for Wednesday, and he came on, I think, and I don't know if he must have added to the game as a substitute, and anyway. Yeah, so always follow the players, or follow what you think could be a story way after full time, and you just never know. But this is at Leeds, obviously celebration again, the old 70-200 conundrum again. Do I stay on it as they're running towards you, or do you go into the widey? And I stayed on it and managed to get this. Obviously, I've chopped Pirou's legs off, but what's his name? I can't remember his name. I'm going to cheat. I can't remember his name now. Yeah, Jorginho Rutter. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, yeah. He seems to celebrate whether it's his goal or anyone else's goal. He's always. I've shot Leeds quite a few times now, and I always keep an eye on him when anyone else scores, because he doesn't half celebrate. But anyway, yeah. And then this one, just when you think you can't rescue a goal celebration if you've missed the goal itself and the Stelly's all gone against you. I had this in the background, and it just made this image a bit, really. It just made the image. I think it was Perot that scored, and what's his name? I can't remember his name. Blooming neck, I'm terrible with names. Nathan Ampadu. Yeah, he came up to Perot and just gave me that nice little celly, so that was good. And another celly coming past. I mean, this is all cellies and goals, really. These memories, but yeah, on this one, I like this one. This is at Ipswich, and as many of you know, I do like to get some nice pre-game images if I can, just to try and build a nice setup. I always go on about building the setup, don't I? As if a stranger's looking at your set, they can read the story then of the game. And these three guys just waiting for the turnstiles to open. But yeah, this Sir Bobby here, look, it just makes a really nice frame. That does a pre-match frame, and obviously it's at Ipswich, and I had a nice celly in my corner. That was quite good. It's always good to get a nice celly, and it always will them to run towards you, so they did this time. This is one of my favourite pan blurs. I love the fact that we did have a bit of a chat about this in the week. There was a bit of a discussion on Facebook about pan blurring. You've got to really have the face sharp-ish, or sort of 80% sharp, which this one is, and I love the way the ball's spinning, and it's just a nice pan blur. And there you can see my settings. Look, it's on that second set of settings. As you know, I don't use back button focus, and I've got my back button, my AE lock button, set up as my second set. I just flick that on. Pan with an image, pan with the player if he's running across my frame, and there's my settings. Look, just a standard sort of settings really, and yeah, managed to get that. So that's probably my favourite pan blur so far this season. This is Stoke, and Graham Scott here, the referee, and I think this was assistant coach. What's his name? Let's have a look. First team coach Mike Dodds. He really was not happy with Graham Scott. I think this was at full time, again after full time. Yeah, look, 5 o'clock there, and Graham Scott won off getting some stick off Dodds, and yeah, that was a story in itself, because I don't think the ref had that great a game. But yeah, always carry on following until there's not one player left on the pitch after full time. Oh, this was at Grimsby, and I was blocked for the goal. He ran away from me, so I didn't really get a celly, and all hope was lost. And then he peeled back towards me and ran past the old digital board in the background. Now I know this is really soft and out of focus, but I think it just makes this, and I managed to grab 1 or 2 celebrations, if you like, or a celebration image from his goal. So that, having that digital board there in the background, made up for this image. So yeah, look, a lucky image, but one that's always worth looking at. You just never know. And again, he'd scored and he'd celebrated, and then he ran away, and I stayed on him, like I've said in videos in the past. Stay on the goal scorer, and you just never know what you're going to get. So, oh, here's another pan blur. It's more in focus there. Obviously his body wasn't moving quite as much, but you can just about see his face. So another pan blur to show you there. Same settings again. I never changed my settings on my second set on the AE lock button, the safe shift as they call it. And oh, just a nice general goal shot really. You've got a bit of dejection here. He's looking at the ball going in. I had managed to get the keeper 99% in. Look, just chopped the bottom of his football boot off, and the ball just came off the post and in. And yeah, that was a nice shot. Just a nice goal that's got a bit of a story to it in one frame really. I think he'd brought the it was a good independent goal really. He'd brought it up from the halfway line all on his own. He was tracking him all the way, and then he just knocked the shot past him, and he's thinking, oh bloody hell, I should have tackled him and got a yellow card perhaps. But anyway, yeah. And this one, just something a bit different. Obviously, Remembrance Weekend, and I went up into the stands. I just thought, right, this was at Huddersfield, and I see them put this out, and I thought, right, I'm going to try. I know what the players are going to do. Both teams are going to gather. They're all going to gather, and the assistants and the refs are going to gather in the middle. So I just went into the stand just for this one quick, just to get a different angle on it and try and get that poppy in a bit, which made a nice shot. And oh, this one, this is who's this? This is Leeds again. Is this Rotherham? Rotherham Leeds. Who it is now. Let's have a look. Who are we looking at? Where are we looking at? Yeah, Rotherham Leeds, that's right. Yeah, I knew I was right. Rotherham Leeds. And how this was not a foul, I'll never know, because a penalty. Look at his boot on it. I mean, he's so lucky. So lucky is Daniel James that he didn't break his leg. But I think there wasn't, the image is probably worse than it is. And it just shows you how VAR can look worse when stopped and when slowed down. You would think that was going to snap his leg, but there can't have been a lot of weight on his leg, because it just shoved him away. But how it wasn't a penalty, I'll never know. So yeah, I quite like that, those two. But because I was thinking after I got it, I knew I'd got the images, and I thought, oh, if I do, that's going to be great set for a penalty. But referee didn't give it. And oh, this was what's his name? Jaden. I can't remember his name now. Jordan James, saving Wayne Rooney's skin, I think, and slotting the ball into to equalise the match, and just got him slotting it in. I love the way the keeper's looking at the ball and thinking, oh no, I've messed up here. And yeah, then he peeled away, which was nice, and then they gathered in front of me, and he gave a cracking celebration to the fans behind me, and yeah, I really like that. And again, that's just one example where auto ISO does work, because obviously he was right over me, and the auto ISO's corrected my exposures, and I didn't have to do anything with that image. So yeah, I'm always shooting auto ISO as a rule. And there's one of Wayne Rooney. He wasn't very animated really, but just thought I'd pop one in. Just nice to see him, and nice to see that he's back on our scenes again after coming back. Oh, and this is back to the Man City game, and I've got to give a big thank you to David Blunsden, who said, come and sit with me, because Haaland, David always does a lot of Man City games, he always comes over to this area of the pitch and warm up. He said, come and sit with me and I bet you'll get a wave. And lo and behold, he came out, waved to the fans, and I got that, so that was quite nice. But and then this one, I must say, must give a shout out to Phil Duncan and Ellie for getting me on board with them, because not only am I shooting for Shutterstock mainly now, but I'm shooting for Every Second Media as well, and they've been sending me to Man City and Liverpool and that. So yeah, great to be on board with Phil and Elliot, Every Second Media. And this was obviously the City game, and I haven't pointed the lens at Pep Guardiola very much, and I was pointing away, and then he started rubbing his face, and I'm sure they know what they're doing, because he just rubbed his face quick. But when you freeze frame, it looks so dejected, and I was thinking that perhaps this might just come in handy for the financial fair play that Man City are going through. So you never know, they might easily crop up somewhere. But yeah, I was quite chuffed to get them. And anyway, yeah. Oh, and this is Foden. He scored. I was blocked for the goal, but he ran towards us, so that was quite nice. And oh, we've seen these again. Alvarez's goal. So yeah, nice to get them sellies. My favourites. And then where was this? This was Leicester at Sheffield Wednesday. Again, shooting for Every Second Media, Phil and Ellie. And yeah, got the goal in between the keeper's legs, and then nice selly towards me, and yeah, that was nice, and a bit of action. Now I ended up going for a square crop on this, as you can see, because there was so much empty wasted space either side, so I'll just give it a square crop, and I think it works quite well. He's obviously going for the block, and down to, what am I down to, 1250th here, I'm at 1250th, I'm at f2.8, look, ISO 8000, on the R3, look, and just a little bit of movement in his boot there, but there's going to be, under the floodlights at 1250th, just a little bit of boot, but the ball's sharp, and he's sharp, jumping up, look, so yeah, that made a nice bit of action. And again, same again here, look, what we at here, 1250th, ISO 8000, very similar, that's in at 200mm, look, and that would have been cropped a bit as well, on the R3, and yeah, nice little bit of an action shot this. Still quite a lot of space. I suppose I could have square cropped that really, but because he's cut off, look, but I left that like that. Where are we now? We're back, I think we're at Leeds again. We're at Ellen Road. This is Middlesbrough. Scored really early on. What, 3 minutes past 3, look. And Middlesbrough shocked Leeds and scored an early goal, and I got a lovely knee slide in front of me. And then Leeds went up the other end and scored straight away. And yeah, this is past the game now, not a lot else happened, just your general action shots, and it's always nice to follow the managers. Again, this is full time. We've actually got Farker there, look, in the background. Leeds manager, obviously having a cuddle with one of his players or one of his subs. But I was looking at Michael Carrick and just got a bit of dejection because they ended up beating Middlesbrough. Was it 2 or 3-1, I think, in the end? But and then obviously Farker came towards us. And what's this, look, 3 minutes past 5 this is. I'm still following the managers round, and yeah, he gave a good bit of reaction. So that was that. I know I mentioned Posh earlier, meeting Joe Dent, and thanks again to Joe Dent, but it was a really wet end to the week before the Saturday's game at the Posh at Peterborough United, and I think there was quite a few League One and a lot of League Two games cancelled. So I just thought I'd try and find a puddle at Posh, and I found one and got this nice reflection, and I think I just captioned it, you know, after a wet weekend, after a wet end to the week, just showing a puddle at Posh, but just nice to get something different pre-match. And I did put this one up for a bit, I think. I put this on the Facebook group, just thinking outside the box a bit, and obviously the sun's right behind this player here, and I got on a nice low angle on the 5D Mark IV, this is. What am I at? 16mm, look, and just got a nice silhouette of the players warming up, quite like that one. Oh, and then this is Somerville scoring, he scored, Somerville, and nice celebration, came and celebrated right next to us, but it was nice to capture the goal as well, and yep, they come and celebrated next to me, and you can I think it was Malcolm, shout out to Malcolm, one of the Leeds snappers. He was sat to my right, and Somerville's, the boys are just looking at Malcolm sat next to me there, so I'm sure he got a cracking shot of that, as all looking down his lens. And yeah, then up to Everton last week, or this week just gone, and again keeping an eye on the managers. Old Sean Dyche, I don't know what he was shouting, but nice image that is. And yeah, just to get, because Sean Dyche is quite animated, so that was good. And Marco Silva, obviously Fulham manager. I think there's a player here, he'd been fouled, and he was saying, just stay down, but he was almost looking straight at me, so I quite like that one. And this one, just to finish off, and this is Tarkowski, that's it, Tarkowski, just been fouled, but the reason I like this is because it's so clean and simple, And you know, if ever there's a story comes up about players staying down, getting fouled, this might get used. You never know. He's the Everton captain, and I just like how clean it is photographically, really. Apart from probably this bright orange bit there that probably just catch your eye a little bit. It's a nice clean image, and yeah, so job's a good 'un. Anyway, I'll say bye again now, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed that little set. That's just a few memories and going back on my favourite ones from this season so far. But anyway, I'll let you get on. I should have a drink really and toast a Merry Christmas. But anyway, have a great time, guys, and if you're out this weekend, have a good weekend and have a lovely Christmas, and I'll catch you up next week. Take care. Catch up soon.